and welcome back to the Premier Predictor here at the Royal Oak Pub in New Malden. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Darwin Nunez because he's under a bit of scrutiny at the moment. And seeing as my guest is a Liverpool fan, it kind of works out. And then, yes, we'll be talking with our special guest this week, which is Scotty from Scotty's Running World. He's a good friend of mine, a fellow YouTuber. So before we get into Game Week 8, and we'll be talking about Scotty's channel, let's look at Game Week 7's results. So there are only 7 games. Obviously, there was a few postponements. So let's go through them one by one. Villa Southampton was 1-0. It was a very dull game. Probably didn't deserve any goals, but Villa did win it. Forest versus Fulham, and that was actually a really good game. That ended up being 3-2 Fulham. Fulham were 2-0 down, and they came back to win that one. Wolves versus Manchester City. Manchester City pretty comfortable. Erling Haaland scoring again. Can't stop him this season. Bournemouth versus Newcastle was a draw, 1-1. Spurs-Leicester, probably game of the week, 6-2. No one was predicting that. I mean, people were predicting the Spurs win, but probably not to the same extent. And obviously, Son back on the goal scoring sheet, which is good. Brentford versus Arsenal. Brentford very lacklustre, considering you look back to their game last year where they beat Arsenal comfortably in the opening game of the season. This time, complete reversal. You know, they played off a pitch by Arsenal and they won 3-0 in the end. West Ham, Everton versus West Ham. Everton got their first win of the season. 1-0 narrow win over West Ham. Obviously takes pressure off Frank Lampard, but obviously puts the pressure back on to David Moyes. So, looking at the final scores, Matt did beat me 12-7 this week. We both got 1 score each. But yeah, not the best highest scores. But anyway, let's move on to this week's guest and Game Week 8. Hello and welcome back. Today we're joined by Scotty, my good friend, who has his own YouTube channel called Scotty's Running World. Thanks for joining me this week, Scott.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. So you just tell us a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, so it's a channel I started about a year ago. It's nothing football related for your subscribers, but it's a running related
but
channel.
But it is sports related. So.
Yes, it is sports related. Running, fitness, anything like that. I do some specials as well.
Do a couple of travel videos.
Yeah, my recent one I was in Iceland. So that was a really favourite of mine really so far. There's a lot of variety. I've actually made a little trailer as well, which I think you are going to show off to the viewers.
That.
But it sums it up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think we're going to play that now. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that. Scott is very kind to make that for us for his channel. I will put his details in the description below, so do go check him out. I promise you will enjoy all of his channel, even his travel ones, which are brilliantly made. So, right, let's move on to our topic this week, which is Darwin Nunez. Now, we're both Liverpool fans. There's a bit of scrutiny with him recently.
Yeah.
Probably not got off to the best starts. How do you see it?
So, the way I see it is... He started well. If you think back to the Community Shield, I mean, he won that game for us, really. He came on, scored the winning goal, I believe.
It's brilliant, yeah.
And then he started on the bench for the first Prem game, came on, scored.
Yeah.
So it was a good start to his career, really. And then the red card. Yeah. And then the killer with that is the 3-match ban. He lost momentum.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously now Jota's back.
Yeah.
And he's playing well.
Yeah. And the other thing I see is... I think he'll share a lot of minutes with Jota and Firmino this year.
Yeah.
I think the way I see Liverpool lining up, Diaz will be pretty much set on the left, Salah on the right.
Yeah.
And it's one of those 3 kind of rotating all the time, I think. I think he will be the main guy, but...
Yeah, I think even Firmino might even drop back into midfield a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, that could happen.
But yeah, I mean... Obviously, he's our way with Uruguay at the moment. We'll see how that goes, but hopefully he comes back and gets back scoring goals again. I think what people are doing are comparing him to Haaland, and obviously Haaland's
That's comparing stupid. A human to a robot.
Yeah, I mean, if they hadn't signed Haaland, there probably wouldn't be this much scrutiny, because obviously City and Liverpool, you'd say probably top 2 teams. You expect both strikers to be banging in goals, basically. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, he does come around and proves his money worth. because he actually was more than Haaland in the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I think he will grow into the season, but I think it's more next year maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a learning curve for him. It's he's not been in English football before.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
needs to get used to.
He has an excellent track record. in Portugal.
Exactly. So. Yeah. So we'll give him time. I mean, I'm not worried. Obviously, people are gonna have their words, but anyway, right. Let's move on to game week 8 predictions. We've got a full schedule this week, which is good. Back to 10 games, a couple of really good games as well.
Yeah.
Starting off with the North London derby.
So this one was the toughest of all 10 to predict, I think.
Yeah.
Looking at the kind of fixtures, this was really tough for me because Arsenal top of the table, Spurs undefeated. So I've gone for a draw. I've gone for 1-1. I think there's always goals in this fixture.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't decide between the two, so I've kind of gone down the middle, draw 1-1.
Yeah, I think when it's difficult to call, probably best bet is to go for a draw.
Yeah.
But like what you said, it's normally goals. I've gone for 2-2. I think there will be goals. I think it will be one, because they're both playing so well. You expect maybe there to be quite a hostile atmosphere. They're both up the top of the table. No one wants to lose it. So hopefully it'll be a good game. Moving on to first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Got Bournemouth versus Brentford.
Yeah, so I've gone for a narrow Brentford win. 1-0.
Okay.
1-0 Brentford.
Yeah, Southampton really not been playing well.
It's Bournemouth they're playing.
Oh, sorry, Bournemouth,
yeah. I mean, Bournemouth not playing well.
Well, to be fair, since Parker got sacked after 9-0, they've actually played better.
They have improved a lot.
They've won a few games, they've drawn against Newcastle.
Yeah, again, this is a tough one to call. I do like the look of Brentford this year in certain games. I think they've just got a little bit more quality, and I think it'll be a close game, but
I think they want to bounce back. I've gone for a draw, actually.
Okay.
I think they'll be quite evenly matched.
Yeah, I can see that.
But you'd probably say Brentford, but then after their 3-0 loss to Arsenal.
It's Arsenal though, it's top of the table.
True, but they really just didn't show up in that game at all, which is unlike them. Right, next game is Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. What's going on that one?
Another close one. Crystal Palace away is tough, as I think you've spoke about before on previous episodes. I've gone for a 1-0 Chelsea win. I just think, again, it's just a difference in quality that might see them over the line and get that win, really.
I've gone for the same result.
Interesting to see if Vanyam starts and how Sterling plays and stuff. I know they're still gelling, so that's why I think it'll be low scoring. 1-0 win, I've gone.
I think Chelsea need the win, and I think they'll be trying so hard defensively to actually just not concede a goal, and they might just nick it, which is why I think it will be 1-0. Fulham Newcastle, bit of a tricky one, this one.
Yeah, I think there'll be goals in this. So I've gone 2-1 to Newcastle, away win.
Okay.
Fulham tend to score for the most part.
Yeah, they've surprised everyone this season.
Yeah.
They've started off very well. They came from behind to beat Forest last week.
Of the promoted clubs, they've impressed me the most.
Yeah.
And of the promoted clubs, I think they have the best chance to stay up. But I think Newcastle, a very strong team, so I think they will get that away win.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've pumped a lot of money in, but they've had a lot of injuries, which is why they've not been performing probably where they should be at the moment. Obviously they were expected to beat Bournemouth and they didn't, so I've got the same sort of feeling that it'll be another draw in this one.
Okay.
Unless
a lot of draws.
Unless Mitrovic starts scoring goals again.
Yeah.
And we all know what's happened there with him this season. So let's move on to Liverpool-Brighton.
Yeah.
What do we think?
So you've got to back Liverpool at home at Anfield, but Brighton are very improved this season.
Up until Graham Potter left. And they've not played since. So
yeah, but are they just going to forget everything he taught them? Are they going to play a different system? I mean, Adam Lallana is going to be the interim manager, so it'd be interesting to see how he gets on.
Oh, really?
I believe he is, yeah.
Okay.
So I've gone for 1-0 Liverpool.
We have struggled against them recently, but I think we will win.
Yeah.
I think at Anfield, crowd's going to be up for it. Not seen Liverpool play in a couple of weeks now because of the postponement, so hopefully we'll be fresh, ready. We've got some people coming back from injuries. We've got Thiago back, Jota back.
Yeah, it's looking better for us. I just think Brighton are a tough team though. Yeah. So I think a close affair. Have you gone a bit more of a
I've gone
Liverpool
2-0.
win?
2-0. Okay. I think it'll be 2-0, Right, Southampton versus Everton. Southampton, your hometown.
Yeah.
It's not going too well for them, but
no, it's not. I mean, I actually at the start of the season, I fancied them to maybe get relegated. Really don't see how they're going to score enough goals. Che Adams is okay, but
it's the inconsistency. That's the problem with Southampton. They
Yeah.
don't have that. One week they'll surprise everyone. They'll beat someone, Man City or something, and then next couple of weeks they'll be rubbish.
Yeah.
So you just don't know.
Yeah, and also one of the hardest to predict on. I can never really get them right.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's the case a lot of the season.
So, I think both teams are kind of shot shy at the moment. So I've gone 0-0.
Yeah.
I think. I think they'll struggle to score goals this season.
I think they won't want to lose again. And Everton, obviously, buoyed by their win.
Yeah.
I could just see it being a draw as well. I've gone for 1-1.
Okay.
I think I can see a goal from each team on that one.
Mm-hmm.
West Ham versus Wolves. That's the 5:30 on
the
Saturday.
So I think West Ham have not got the points to reflect their performance so far this season in some games.
No, they have been
Chelsea
unlucky.
game.
And obviously they've got Europe as well.
They have. So I fancy West Ham to get a win here.
Yeah.
I've gone 2-0.
2-0, okay.
Home win. I just think they shouldn't be in a relegation zone right now, which I believe they are, and I think that's a false representation of how good the club is. I mean, they're not to the heights of last year, but
no, I think they're just.
They'll start getting there.
When you've played it not badly, but when the results don't reflect the performance, it can maybe have an effect in the dressing room. I don't know. I do think they will win as well. I've gone for an 1-0 win.
Okay.
I think it won't be a classic.
No.
I think they'll just want to get the 3 points.
Yeah.
Right, another big game. Derby.
Looking forward to this one.
Yeah. 2 o'clock on the Sunday.
It's going to be feisty.
Yeah. Can you see Man United winning?
I can't.
No,
I think the goal from Class. I think City. It pains me to say as a Liverpool fan, I think it's going to be very hard to stop them this year to win the league.
Especially with Erling Haaland.
When you've got a guy scoring over a goal a game ratio, whether he'll keep that up, probably not, but he'll get close to it. So I've gone for 2-0. 2-0 City. Goal from Class between the two.
Yeah, I've actually gone 3-1. I think Man United will maybe nick a goal, maybe like a penalty or something. But I think City would just be too strong. And they'll be really up for it, so I'll just see them scoring goals and goals.
Yeah. Although, out of all the games, I think this one, if there was an upset, I could maybe see it.
Maybe this one. I mean,
because it's a derby. It's a derby.
Yeah,
so.
they were starting to play better than Man United, but then they lost to Real Sociedad, and they've not played since. So we don't know. Moving on to the final Sunday game, Leeds Villa.
Yeah, I really like the look of Leeds this year.
Yeah.
They have. Out of all the teams, surprised me the most.
Yeah.
I think people said they've lost a lot of key players, and they thought they'd struggle, but they've done all right so far, and I think they'll get another win here. 2-1. I've gone Leeds against Villa.
Yeah.
They're free scoring. I like the look of Rodrigo, and he's injured right now, but they look like they've got a lot of goals in that team, and I think they'll get the win. Yeah,
I think Leeds will win as well. Villa, I know, beat Southampton, but they weren't very convincing. I think Leeds at home should be comfortable. Not comfortable, but I can see them winning with the home crowd. Right, Monday game. Leicester Forest. Bit of a derby there.
Yeah, this is a big one for my prediction.
This is a really big one for Leicester.
So I think Leicester might get their first win.
I think so too. I've got a feeling they need it. If they don't, it could be Rodgers.
So they're bottom of the table, but I look at and they have not performed well. But look at the teams they've played. Some very difficult opening games.
I just don't think they've recruited well enough.
Well, they haven't recruited anyone, have they?
I think maybe that centre back when Fofana was sold, they brought in that
centre
back.
yeah.
But that's just a like for like
minimal, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think they'll actually keep their first clean sheet as well. So
I've
gone for 2-0 Leicester.
See, Forest are scoring goals, they're just not winning games. So I'll put them to score, but to not win again. I put Leicester to win 2-1.
Okay.
It probably will be a bit of a feisty game. It'll be a scrappy game, and I just think as long as they get the win, they don't care how they do it. Own goals, whatever. As long as they get the 3 points, that's all they're going to care about. So I'll see a Leicester win on that one. Right, that is all 10 games of Game Week 8. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will put a link in the description over to Scott's channel. Please go check it out. I promise you won't regret it. Obviously, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers myself, so once we do, there will be a football competition. So make sure you subscribe and like and get that bell on, because there are weekly uploads coming your way. Right, so yeah, thank you very much, Scott.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us coming on this week, and yeah, we'll see you next week. See you later.